Welcome to No Nonsense Hosting Tips. In this video, I will show you how you can effectively set your cancellation policy on booking.com. Once you're logged into booking.com extranet, which is admin.booking.com, you will see your listing there. Now, to navigate to the cancellation policies, you need to click on the property icon in the top menu and then choose policies here. And on this page, the very first option you will see is the cancellation and prepayment policies. By default, if you have never been into this area, this is how you will find it. You will have a flexible cancellation policy, which is 14 days. They can cancel and they will get a refund. If you don't like it, you can just simply click on edit and it will let you alter that cancellation policy. All the options here are self-explanatory, so I won't go into those details. But this is by default the flexible cancellation policy you will find. Now, booking.com allows you to create 5 additional cancellation policies, and I will explain how that works. When you click on create a new cancellation policy, it will ask you whether it is a non-refundable cancellation policy. Just click on create policy and that is automatically now available on your listing. You can create 4 additional cancellation policies here, and it gives you complete freedom on what kind of cancellations you want to offer. Do you want to give it for free? Do you want to charge a fee? When you charge a fee, it will let you what kind of cost you want to charge them and all that. So let's say I want to choose this, and you can say 2 days before their arrival, if they cancel, I want to charge them the cost of their first night. And what if the guest doesn't show up? You can say cost of the first night or 100% of the total price. So let's choose that option and just save it. Now it has saved the third option here, which is flexible 2 days. And I want you to keep these names in mind because on the next step, they will come handy. So in our example, we have 3 cancellation policies: flexible 14 days, flexible 2 days, and a non-refundable cancellation policy. Now, each of these cancellation policies can be assigned to a rate plan, which basically means you can assign a different rate to these properties. And effectively, how it works is when people are looking at your property and trying to book it, they will see 3 different rates. For each cancellation policy, they will have a different rate if you set it correctly. Let me just show you the calendar very quickly. So by default, you will see this is my standard rate for the property. And now this is the non-refundable rate. And then the weekly and the monthly rate, because I'm offering some discount for weekly and monthly rate. You would notice the third cancellation policy, the custom policy, which we just defined, which was flexible 2 days, is not yet visible here. And the reason for that is we have not assigned it to a rate plan. And to do that, you need to click on rates and availability and click on rate plans. And here you will see those 4 rows again and create a new rate plan and just scroll down towards the bottom and you can click on add a new rate plan. And this is where you will see this 14-day policy, which we just defined, and it lets you choose a lot more options. Once you have done all of this, there will be another row you will see in your calendar, which will show specifically that rate plan as a separate row. And all these rows are visible to the customer when they're booking, and it just gives them a lot more options to choose from. If they want to choose a non-refundable cancellation policy, they can do that. And in exchange, they will get a discount. But if your setup is simple, if you just have one property, you don't want to make it complicated, my advice would be to just stick to 2 cancellation policies, a flexible. And if you don't like the flexible cancellation policy, you can go in and change it here. So my advice would be to just keep these 2 policies if you don't want to overcomplicate things. Now, there are few more options you need to be mindful of. When you scroll down on this screen, you will see 3 more options. The first one is date changes for a non-refundable booking. What happens if someone books a non-refundable booking and they want to now do not want to cancel because they will lose all the money. But sometimes guest proposes that, hey, can I change the date to a future date? And they will try and make it to that date. You can define that. It gives you complete control on what happens in those scenarios. This is a gray area in other platforms like Airbnb and VRBO. If a guest books a non-refundable booking on Airbnb, it is entirely up to the host whether they want to give them a refund or not at all. But on booking.com, they make it crystal clear. You can just click on this edit option and it will give you all the things you can choose. What happens when a guest wants to alter a non-refundable booking. The next option here is the cancellation exceptions. If you want to give some kind of an exception if someone cancels a booking within 4 hours of making the reservation, or there will be no fees charged for booking cancelled 8 weeks before arrival and all that kind of stuff. And the last option is a temporary policy exceptions. You can create temporary policy exceptions to replace existing rate plans during a set period of time. For example, if you have a low season coming up, you can just create a temporary policy just for the low season, and maybe you can relax your cancellation policy this way temporarily. I hope I was able to give you an overview how cancellation policies work. If there is something still not clear to you, please drop me a message in the comments below and I'll make sure to address that in my comments, or I will be happy to create another video for you. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. Until next time, bye bye.